Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is G. Cole, and welcome to Homegrown, where I get to share with you some good music while talking to some great people. Hello world, I hope you're feeling as good as I am. I want to big up all my homegrown listeners and welcome all the new listeners. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so we can keep you updated when new material is available. We will be posting new episodes bi-weekly. Want to thank everyone who has been listening and sharing. Please leave us a comment, we'd love to hear from you. Please check out the website homegrowingcole.com to listen and for all things homegrown. The podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Radio.com, Amazon, wherever you listen to your podcast, we're there. We're very, very interactive. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at MyGCole. The video of this interview is also available on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is episode 167. And as we go through some dope conversations, some dope people that have passed through the Homegrown Studios, today I want to draw on a conversation from content creator, radio personality, TV personality, and of course, mother and survivor, Miss Jody Ann Gray. She brings a story of resilience, literally surviving what was supposed to be her last day. And right now, one of the dopest personalities, Miss Jody Ann Gray.
My lovely guest. Let me flip this. I'm going to time for look for me. Miss Jody Ann Gray. Wow, go on.
Hi, G. Cole. Thanks for having me.
The pleasure is indeed mine. We're about 2 years too late, but you don't know, never too late, right?
Never too late. Once you have life, you have everything.
Yo, your positivity. I'm gonna need some ear horns for them things. I'm gonna be on top of it in a minute. I'm gonna be on top of it. But listen, first of all, congrats on all you've been doing, because I've been seeing you tearing up these streets, doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Making your mark on the industry.
Appreciate it. It's a journey.
Yeah.
I've been through it, but at some point you have to just get up and say, you know what?
Yeah.
Enough of that. Forward ever, backward never.
I love that. Yo, you should be an artist. I'm an artist. Easy. But I love them kind of vibes because there's so many people going through so much right now. Mm-hmm. Some in secret, some in public. Mm-hmm. Some are a little mix of the two. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they need encouragement from, you're doing your thing and they see you on the screens and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But truth be told, it's almost like you're with them. You're there with them. So it's a little realer when you say, my people that support me. My people that give me the encouragement. You know what I'm saying? So from the ladies to the ladies, I say, yo, trust me, energy's there nonstop. Jody Ann got the energy for y'all. Trust me. The show, we go straight tonight because I know you have a brand new thing in the works right about now coming up. Talk to me a little bit. Oh, snap. Let me zoom in on the shirt.
Jody Ann Gray is a brand.
Bang,
it's a real
bang.
thing. It's a real thing.
Bang. Cool, no?
I share this with you. When I came to the United States, I came under very bad conditions, it was never planned. I literally run away from Jamaica and I came here. Right. And, for years, I wasn't mentally ready. I wasn't okay. Mm-hmm. And I took some time to really reevaluate and, go back in the books and really look at where it is that you really want to go. Right. And I remember, telling myself, listen, I want to go back into media. But I felt like, the opportunities weren't presenting itself. Right. And I remember having a discussion with Eddie Edwards and, we said, listen, why is it that we do need to always wait on people to create an opportunity? You can create your opportunity yourself. The building or the organization that you're hoping to work for is not your brand. You are the brand.
Mad things.
You know what I mean? So I just got up one day and I was like, you know what? Jody Ann Gray is a brand. And we're going to make it known that it is a brand.
Wow.
Because it's not the building, it's the person. Mm-hmm. So we went and we registered last June, Jody Ann Gray Inc. And I tell you this, G. Cole, since I've registered the business, I have not had a weekend off.
Wow.
I have been busy literally almost every single weekend. So sometimes, the Lord is waiting to help us, but we have to put that foot forward to help ourselves, and then He will drive us forward.
Literally.
you know?
Yes, help those who help themselves.
Exactly. And this was a situation like that. You know, sometimes we really sit waiting for opportunities that we just need to start to create ourselves.
But you know, it's funny when I hear you say that, because we talk to people, your kids, right? I got my daughter's about to be 21, right? So we talk to folks about stuff like this sometimes, and it sounds like I just daddy election, you know what I mean? Or just somebody saying, because it's easy for people to say things, but there's nothing more inspiring than seeing somebody across the table from you. Somebody that's real. A lot of the people we see do things, that's Hollywood, that's TV, right? Them not real. I mean, it's just they had it made, they had it set up, they had it planned, but it's Jody Ann, you know what I mean? Just a face and a voice. Now, here's what I always do when the big stars come through the building. Yeah, big stars. You know? So we're gonna do it this way for you too, all right? It's to me, I love the rearview mirror. I study and I abide in this section right here that says you can't know where you go
unless you know where you're coming from. Absolutely.
And forget media and all them things, because there's an energy about you where there's always an answer for what things are, where they're coming from. Let's talk about a little Jody Ann Gray before media and all that. Where did you grow up, and what a vivacious personality, the vibe and the energy. Let's talk about where that's coming from.
You know, I tell you this, and I'm going to be real with you. I grew up with my grandmother. My mom left when I was 6 months old. Literally never returned.
Right.
So, you know, she was living in Portmore at the time. My grandmother decided, listen, I can't work and look after you, so we're going to have to board you out. So I was at a boarding school in Mountain View. And I'm going to be honest with you, when I was younger, I felt like I always had that outgoing personality. I was always very loud. I was always the one who walks into a room and you need to know that I'm here.
I'm in the building.
Yeah, I was always that person.
Right.
And, you know, I felt like I always had an energy. Whenever I walk into a room, people would be like, oh, yeah, man. Jody there.
I see that.
Jody there. You know, so I grew with that, and you know, I was comfortable with my personality. I was comfortable with who I was, and I just grew from there. And one of the things too, when I was younger, I used to chat enough. I still chat enough, but I used to always chat, and I used to say, "Listen, you're going to be a lawyer," and I used to tell them, "No." At that time, Doreen Samuels and I don't remember his name, but they were the two main persons. You remember that guy that died? Yeah. And I don't remember his name, Jesus, but they used to be on TV. And I remember I said, I'm not going to be no lawyer. I'm going to be on TV just like that lady.
Like Doreen, yeah.
Just like
Big
Doreen.
Up Doreen, rest in peace.
Yeah, you know? And I said, I'm going to be on TV and I'm going to talk just like that lady. And the rest is history.
You know, she needed to copyright and patent that thought, because everybody that works on an airline, a Jamaican airline, everybody work on Jamaican media, female, other voice.
Yeah, Doreen.
You know what I mean?
Doreen.
Doreen voice.
When I got older, though, Paula and Porter, geez on peace.
Shabbat.
Listen to me.
Shabbat.
And it's so funny, Paula, I met Paula at Merle Grove High School while doing school rules. And I remember her saying to me, you know, you have a voice, you have a vibe. I think you should really look into media. Wow. And I went and I did the Carmack exam, and I was one of 50 people who was accepted in the institution, and the rest is history from there. I just followed. I just knew exactly where I wanted to go. Right. And I knew wherever I wanted to go, it had to involve some talking. Come on, love talk. Yeah.
Well, here's the deal, though. There's something natural and nice about it, because I know people love talk, but we don't want to hear them talk, you know.
Yeah.
I tell people this all the time. This is just me, right? Jay-Z, for example, 50 Cent. I will listen to Jay-Z's music. I don't want to hear him say nothing, right? 50 right now, I ain't trying to hear no 50 music, but I will listen to 50 talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you'll stop and look.
I'll stop and I'll listen. That's new, right? There's a vibe, there's an energy.
I appreciate
that connects. It's not just talking, because you can't get anybody a microphone, you know. And it ain't about mastering the media voice either, because trust me, they say, yeah, the thing locked. But there's something that comes across that is not faux. It's real. It's genuine.
You know, that's one of the things, G. Cole, I always tell myself, like, what you see is what you get. And, you know, sometimes it when I was younger, it used to bother me. Before 2012, it used to bother me when people be like, that girl Lacey, she hype, she going like she better than people, she this. And I'm like, it's far from the truth. You know, I always pride myself in just what you see is what you get. Because one of the things my grandmother always taught me from when I was a young child is, you know, when you fake, one day you're going to forget your role.
Ooh. Can't forget that, don't know.
And, you know, when you forget your role,
you forget the script.
Exactly.
Boy.
When you forget your role, Trust me, everything going to go haywire because sometimes you really don't know how to get back that character or how to get back the script.
Right.
You understand? So I just always pride myself in just being who I am. I am who I am. And, there are persons who may not like it and persons who, dig it. And that's fine. I appreciate both because at the end of the day, I know that there's a place for every single person. So me, loud and proud, there's a place for me. You understand? And there's a place for somebody who's quiet and reserved. I appreciate you, but
I think it's a culture thing, though, Jody. I'm not telling no lie. Because here's the deal. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it comes from Black culture. It comes from Caribbean culture. Sometimes we mistake quiet for humble, right? And verbose for the lack thereof. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, and we do a great job of suppressing confidence. I said to people all the time, when I moved here, I saw many people that weren't like us, white folks, walk into a room with a certain level of confidence. That's so backed up by a lack of knowledge that it's crazy. Them not have the knowledge, but them confident because their parents taught them, be confident. Sometimes our society teaches to be quiet subdued and be reserved. Quiet because that ain't cool. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So that's a thing there. What Matilda said, I love energies like yours and it thrives and it helps kids to thrive because every one of us that grew up right now, that's got a personality, whether big or small. Can tell you about that teacher, that youth club personnel, that person at the church, that was that personality that's got them going. I feel that vibe there from you.
You spoke about children. Like, I'm a mother. I have an 8-year-old. Right. And I remember the days growing up, they used to tell you, be seen and not heard. Be quiet. I tell my daughter, be exactly who you want to be.
Right.
The only thing I try to do is let her know, listen, if you're saying something, try to be mindful of how it will make somebody else feel.
Right.
But say what you feel and be exactly who you are.
Right.
And sometimes I think that's where we fail as parents, where we try to grow kids to be what society wants us to be.
Yeah.
And, sometimes we'll see a child, that talk a lot. I used to, listen, the amount of shut up me here in my life, I don't know how me still a talk. And you don't know if you're shutting up the next public defender.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're shutting up the next lawyer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think we need to get to a place, especially as parents, groaning and honing these personalities to allow them to be exactly who they are. Allow them to understand the importance of respect.
Right.
And saying things in a tactful manner, but allow them to be exactly who they are.
That's beautiful.
And
we need that for all of our kids because you see the difference. I remember there are a couple of kids in the neighborhood that you would grow up with, and even us as kids used to be like, yo, them get to murder. You know what I'm saying? But it was only because their parents allowed them to be who they are. And as adulthood comes into play now, you see the differences and how it affected people negatively and positively.
Absolutely.
I dig it. We coming up from the Grand. So you said Merle Grove? You went to Merle Grove?
Yes, I went to the best all-girls schools in Jamaica. Merle Grove High School. Shout out to anyone who's watching or listening that's from Merle Grove. Shout out. Yeah. I said what I said.
Ooh, baby.
I said what I said.
Merle, let me tell you something. The school politics in Jamaica is ripe. Let me tell you something. Politics, JLP and PNP got nothing on high school politics in Jamaica, especially in Kingston. Me I tell you, it's not pretty. If people be repping stuff, I don't remember none of them. Everybody remember what happened, whatever the colors of this, of that. I'm like, I gotta give it up. Now, again, we're moving along now. Everybody, like I said, everybody who you see, sometimes you sign up for envy folks, because you see people loud and proud and doing their thing and standing strong, right? But you don't know what turmoil they just came around and overcame. You know what I'm saying? You've got your own story, and a lot of times I don't like to tell stories. You tell me your story. You said you left Jamaica under conditions that, you know what I mean, whatever, and you're here right now. Talk to me a little bit about pre-Jody Ann Gray being in the U.S.
Before... So I tell you this, I left the University of the West Indies after completing my bachelor's in media and communication. And I was in what we would call the cashbot girl. So I used to read the cashbot in Jamaica. I had a couple of shows, the Gillette freestyle football show. I hosted that. I hosted another music countdown. It was Food Choice. So I was doing good, honey.
Cool, no, man.
I was doing good, man. And I was really proud to know that, I mean, even before 2012, I went through a lot. I struggled. I fought. I knew where I wanted to go. And there were a lot of obstacles that I had to overcome to get there. But I was there and I was extremely happy. You know, situations arise where, you know, I don't even know how you say that, but basically I ended up in a situation that I never foresee at any point for myself.
Right.
And yeah, an attack was placed on my life on April 4, 2012.
Right.
You know, I was shot 4 times while I was pregnant with my now daughter, who's 8. I was 7 months pregnant at the time. Spent 30 days in the hospital treating gunshot wounds. And upon being released, I just made my exit from Jamaica to the United States. It was a lot because I had just, you know, paid down on a house, getting ready for my baby, you know, getting everything together. And I was doing well enough for myself to know that, you know, myself and my baby was going to be just okay.
Right.
But, you know, it just so happened that that's not the way God wanted it. So upon being released from the hospital, I left with 1 bag.
Wow.
1 bag. I had no clue.
Right.
When I came to the Fort Lauderdale International Airport, I look up and I said, Ja, is where I going? What I doing? Is where we're going?
Right.
What we going to do?
But you have to make a move.
I had to move. And, you know, at the end of the day, I knew that I had a life that was depending on me. I fought hard to keep that life. And I had to set an example for that life.
Wow.
You know, so it was enough to allow me to know that everything was okay. I mean, there were some rough times mentally because there are times when I was like, you know what? I'm going to give my baby up for adoption and I'm just going to kill myself because there's no way I'm going to get over this ordeal.
Right.
But God said it wasn't so, you know, and the good thing for me is that I had a great deal of support.
Wow.
When I tell you I had support, G. Cole, I had support. You see, I get goosebumps. I had support. There was everything that I needed. Someone was always there to offer it. And I'm not talking about material things.
Right.
There was just sometimes somebody there to offer an encouraging word. Somebody just to say, go on. Somebody said, don't give up. Somebody said, this going to get better.
Right.
You know? And that meant everything to me. And it was enough to keep me going. And this is where I am right now. I have come a far way and I have a long way to go.
Right.
But I am super proud of where I'm coming from.
You know, today I was on the show and I played a song, Superwoman by Dati. And, you know, I tell people this all the time. Sometimes we're walking, society has conditioned us to look at certain things when we're looking for our superheroes. You know what I mean? The people who we're looking up to. Sometimes it's the girl next door. Sometimes it's a coworker. Sometimes it's the voice in the ad. Sometimes in your, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm appreciative of you for even mentioning your story pretty much is everybody thinks that they're the only one that's going through
Everybody
the
have a story.
Everybody. And
Everybody.
Not my thing.
G. Cole, everybody have a story. And what I need people to understand, and I'm saying this wholeheartedly, not because yours don't make the news means that it's not worthy of you overcoming something or meant that you overcame something. You know what I mean? Some of us, our own washout and laundry.
Right.
Every newspaper, you just step on the front page and
Turn
your
up.
business just out the road.
Right.
But there are others who are struggling behind the doors, and it doesn't make your story less warranted than somebody else who, like mine, was made public.
Right.
I wish to God it wasn't, but hey, it is what it is, and it is my story, and I'm owning up to it. One of the things that I'm hoping for though is that, you know, my goal is to rewrite the chapter in my life.
Right.
So people will see me now and be like, oh yeah, that is a girl who her baby father did nearly kill and Ray.
Right.
I don't always want to be that. So right now, I want you to go on Google and be like, oh, Jody Ann Gray MC this. Oh, Jody Ann Gray has her own show. Oh, Jody Ann Gray has a book. Oh, I am taking my time to rewrite my story. Because even though you mentioned earlier that you have to know where you're coming from to know where you're going, at the end of the day, my youth, if you have all house, right, and you used to live in our old house, right, and you work hard and you buy one brand new house and you do everything to elevate yourself from the old house, you gonna keep a visit the old house?
That's for sure.
No. So when the people them knock and say from the old house, Jody Ann Gray, she don't live here anymore. She move uptown.
She gone uptown. She in the burbs right now.
Yeah, she upset.
Right,
you know
right,
what I mean?
right,
So
right.
you know, it is annoying sometimes when that's how people identify you, but it is what it is.
Right.
I hold my head high. I have nothing to be ashamed of.
Right.
And you know, at the end of the day, I am just hoping that one day, instead of being identified as that person who was this, I want to be identified as the person who went through that but is here.
Right.
This is what she's doing.
Right.
This is how she overcame, and this is how she inspired me, and that's my goal.
I love that. I love that. And whether you know it or not, I'm sure you do, or I hope you do. Your words are going to be an inspiration. They already are. You know what I mean? Your testimony to so many people. Now, what I'll always say pretty much is people talk all the time. Most times not qualified to speak. The good thing about it pretty much is that going through what you've gone through, not just with that, but I'm talking about just in media, right? Doing what you do. Because they see you right now, but this is not, you don't just do that thing. You know what I'm saying? And when we talk about media, we talk about our culture, it starts there at Jamaica. You were in it from then. So you're qualified to speak, right? I say all of that to say, enough time me, I run off my mouth, you know what I mean? Because I'm just a fan of the thing, you know what I'm saying? So, because we getting into everything from the Grammys to Wagwan to the culture. Jody Ann's qualified to speak on it. Now, I had a show or 2 or 3 I do every year, right? Titled Jamaica and Our Rocky Relationship with the Grammys, right? Because I do not think there's ever been a year, or maybe there's one or so, where somebody, not even just a Marley, where whomever the winner is, we ain't got an issue with it. You know what I mean? If the Marley wins, then somebody says, yo, I that met them win, right? But if somebody else wins, we say, oh, what, I that met them win, right? Right? Congratulations to Toots Hibbert and his family, all the musicians, everybody worked on it. Were you following the nominees and all them things for the Grammys coming up to now?
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. This year, I wasn't in tune with the Grammys. I know that Toots won. And based on the categories, I feel like everyone was qualified. I mean, I have my own as to who I think. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think Toots is deserving.
Right.
I mean, I think he's put in the work, and I think the album is a good album.
Right.
You know, so and another thing too is that when it comes on to the Grammys, I think a lot of people will talk about, oh, so how this one, that one, this one never get nominated. I don't think people understand how the Grammys work. It is based on submission. So if you don't submit nothing,
you're not qualified already.
You're not qualified. And I think people just think they just go out there and they just pick people and be like, okay, you. Come here, give me your music and we're going to put it up there. That's not how the Grammys work, you know? But I think Toots was deserving. I think so. And he's contributed a lot to our reggae culture and our music. And he's deserving. I mean, I don't want to say what I was going to say, but I will say it anyway. I love and appreciate what the Marleys have done for Jamaica and done for country and done for, you know, putting us up on the map. But it's refreshing to hear people winning that are not a Marley. You know? I don't have anything against them, but, you know, it's like, at one point, I felt like year after year after year, once you hear a Marley, all right, pack it up.
It gone.
It
You know, it's amazing. It's amazing you say that because I think of it, there's some similarities in the way I view it. The only thing is I'll say, I remember when Damon Marley won for Halfway Tree. Welcome to Jamrock, Stony Hill, them albums.
Welcome to Jamrock. They deserve it, bad though.
Deserve it. It should get 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stony Hill, I didn't think it didn't deserve it. I was just rooting for Chronics because I was rooting for the underdog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I can't say, well, something undeserving got it, right? When Stephen Marley got it, I think both times, the last 2 times was well deserving. When folks said to me, boy, the Marleys, I said, boy, I don't know what Julian I say. What Marley I say. You know what I mean? How come the Marley magic not work for them? You know what I'm saying?
I was hoping Chronics would have got it that year too.
Everybody
I was rooting for Chronics.
Everybody.
I love Chronics. I love him.
Is it the music or was it just something different? Yeah, give me something different.
It was both. And I think Chronics have put in the work. I think even though what should I say? We don't hear about him as much.
Though?
I don't think so. You think so?
I think over the last year or so,
Probably the last 2 years he's
but
been
prior to
well, you're
his
right.
Grammy
You're
nod,
right. Up to that Grammy,
man.
he was putting in a lot of work, and we started to really know who Chronix was. We saw who Chronix was, and I feel like he was deserving that year. I don't know what happened,
Right.
but again, when you go against Amali, I know just
It is what it is, right?
it is what it is. You know,
It is what it is. I had a show a couple weeks ago when I had some of the OGs, because I love sitting down and talking with the OGs, right? They have some views that can be so wise as well as it can be so biased. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying, but I love it. So folks were worried because they were saying Skip Marley was in there with an EP, right? And they were talking about the best album to me, to be honest with you, was the Wailers album. Sonically, the best, right? Big tune, big album, right?
Yeah.
Then we had Buju Banton, who had the Rock Nation support. People said, well, maybe he's going to go Buju. You know what I mean? I ain't going to front. I'm a Maxi Priest fan. I didn't think Maxi was going to bring it home.
I didn't think so too.
You know?
I didn't think so.
What was the other one? I don't remember. But I think that was it. Buju, Skip. Oh, Toots, because he won, right?
Toots.
But I'm happy for Toots. But the conversation we had that night was, is it any different when people say he's going to get the Grammy because he's a Marley versus saying he's going to get the Grammy because it's a posthumous award? He just passed.
He just passed.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought about that too, because do you find in history, especially in the Grammys, especially in the reggae category, that once a person dies, they always get the Grammy,
Except
right?
Bob.
Except Bob, yeah.
You know, you believe it or not, Bob still don't have none. Bob ain't got a Grammy.
I never even thought about that. But that's true. Like, I thought that because the fact that he just passed, I was like, yeah,
They're gonna give it to
They're
him.
going to give it to him,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But then I was rooting for Buju. And that's why I never want to say what I want to say. I was hoping he would have gotten it. Not
God,
only
man.
because he's been through a lot himself,
Right.
but, you know, it is what it is. And I mean, it was a biased opinion. I thought the album that he contributed was good. But I think Toots is deserving. I mean,
No, you can't question that. You can't say
Yeah,
he's
he's
not.
yeah.
For what he has contributed to the culture, this is one of those wins that...
And the album is
I'm
not
good.
a bad album.
It's not a bad album by any means. I ain't going to say it's the
not.
best one. But
It's not the best,
Nah.
but
But then again, that's not what the Grammys is not about giving the best anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a political campaign. Let's just call it what it is.
Yep.
And I'm not mad at it. Because truth be told, if nobody don't know you, yeah, you don't know it.
It is what it is.
But congratulations.
Yep.
I saw you. I got straight in that thing.
Oh, Lord.
Before me jump in.
Look how I'm going to load me up now.
Nah,
Where am I load me up
it ain't
now?
no-
Where you see me? Where you see me I do?
The views of G. Cole does not represent those of any of the channels. Once my disclaimer come out, you know it go. You know it go. Jody Ann, I saw you on a platform, right?
Uh-huh.
Some time ago,
Yes, sir.
right?
What me did I do? What me thief? What me do?
Queen Empress Unique, by the way, is on here. Jody Ann, loving your song. That song we started out with, My Story. That's her.
Yeah, that's a nice song. I like it.
Big tune. You were on a panel some weeks ago, right? And
Lord.
the question and the conversation comes up about the single ladies a lot, right? And your opinion was the only one that I thought was real.
Oh, Lord.
Right? And I hate you. I was writing the chat. I was like, yo, we need to talk. And then, of course, I also see a lot of the conversation coming up about, can't find a good man out in these streets. Ain't no good men out here. Single life is rough. It's hard as a single woman, blah, 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 blah. And then advice start being given by a whole bunch of single folks on how to be great at relationships, right? You might not know this personally because you're not put your business out on the streets. You know what I mean?
You can. I tell you, I am what I am.
No, but a lot of these folks were trying to holler, and that was going to be my, you know what I mean? I was going to offer the DMs as a prize to be able to slide off the DMs as a prize, but I can't do that. I can't do that. But
How weak.
I'm just saying. But you got homegirls, some single homegirls out here, right? Is it that tough out in these streets?
Okay, so I tell you this. I hadn't dated for 6 years because I felt like I didn't want to carry anybody. Let me feel like me did half mad. I me never want to carry nobody in my drama, I'm mad them too.
You want carry me in the asylum with you?
Me never want to carry them in the asylum with me. Me say, no, sir. So every time a man come during those 6 years and be like, oh my God, I think you're a nice one. I like to date you, sir. If you know a good for you, stay over there, so.
Love me.
Love me. Me we mad yo. And you don't want that. You understand? All right.
No.
So with that being said, I got back on the dating scene after 6 years. I had my first relationship. It was rough because, like, for me, I had some serious trust issues. Right? And I was like, yo, I don't know. Just leave this alone. And then when I wasn't looking, I ended up finding somebody who so far has been amazing.
Wow. Big up yourself.
Yeah, no, him nice, him clean. Sir, if you're watching, I like you.
Large up yourself.
I like you a lot. But you know, it can be difficult. And I think for single women, it is more difficult when you don't know what you're looking for. That's number one.
Right.
You have to know exactly what you're looking for.
So people searching, but they don't have a goal.
Sometimes you search. So you go out there, you go buy a car. You go to the Honda dealership, you go to Audi, you go here, Mitsubishi, everywhere. But you don't have a clear goals to say, you know what? I want a red BMW.
Right.
I want it to have red leather seats.
Right.
I want it to have rear, front, and back mirror. Right. I want all of that. Right. So if it is that you're going to be going out there and you just dating and you don't know what you're looking for, who you're looking for, and you know what is your purpose, then it is not going to work. Right. The other thing too, I think there is a culture difference with what is dating. I think people don't understand dating is a process of elimination.
Mad.
So what that means is that you're not going to meet the man today and not marry tomorrow.
Filtration system take place.
So people need to understand, you know, it's okay if they're dating you and they're still, you know, just...
So there's sex and intimacy during the dating period though? That good, that legit, right?
It is okay. It just depends
cool.
on the chemistry. So if you and a person have a chemistry and you decide to include sex, it is what it is.
Okay.
You know, while you have others who just don't have that chemistry, don't get to that point, and it's okay. Right. I think we need to move away as Caribbean people from the fact that, oh, you know, me just want to meet this man, me want to marry him, and, you know, we'll live happily ever after.
Right.
You see that fairy tale something there?
Disney, baby.
A Disney. Not saying that you're not going to be able to find somebody who's going to, you know, have you have that happily ever after. But people need to understand, listen, it's okay to go through the dating process. Yeah. It's okay to kiss a million frogs until you find your prince. Right. It's okay. That's my view. If you want to say the person is a whore, that's your view. Right. But at the end of the day, you have to go through that process of elimination. And people need to understand it is okay. Right. You know? So the dating life and people saying, and another thing too, I need to put this out there. People keep saying that there are not good men out there. They need to stop it.
I'm an ear horn there. Go on.
You have some good men out there, not because...
Bang!
No, but you do. Just like how we can say you don't have a lot of good women out there.
Right.
And people need to stop this foolishness. Oh, there are not good men out there. Good men are out there. Right. You understand? Right. Not because me meet one drunker in my life. And not because me meet the mad little drunkro, wicked drunkro, me I go feel say everybody I go be a wicked drunkro. No. Wow. You know, I've had some, and even if you date and it doesn't work out, it doesn't have to be a big brawl where, oh, this, that, you know? If it is that you guys don't click, it's okay. You understand? So it's just a matter of good men are out there and women need to stop the foolishness and just understand that. You see, when it's your time and when you have to just date with discernment, like you have to just know exactly that, okay, when you see the red flags,
run.
you run.
Yeah.
And another thing too is there are some things too that you have to learn to compromise. Nobody is perfect. Come here, tell us, you see the man will take me up and deserve an award. Right?
At least a tax break or
no, something. Him need to get an extra $1,400 upon him stimulus check.
Stimmy.
Because
Stimmy.
so, you know, we all have our idiosyncrasies and we all have to just learn to give and we just have to learn to take. And it's just not about getting up and being in this like, I'm annoyed when people just get up and feel so life just perfect. People just perfect. Situations are perfect. Everything is perfect. No, life don't work like that.
Never did.
It don't work like that. And I think maybe that's why single women say that it's such a hard task to find someone. Because you're just not accepting that if something doesn't work out, it is okay. And you can just go on, take the L and learn, take what you got from that relationship to build a better one for the future.
And you know, the funny thing is, I feel like if you don't go through those, you're probably going to continue to have problematic relationships. Because here's what happens. You have a lot of people who go through the full smooth relationships and the nice ones, whatever the case may be, tell you, say, boy, them never. But then now they're of age and they're single. How come it never led to this and how come it never led to that? You didn't fight enough battles, and I don't mean
and
literally.
You didn't get those experiences.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But me not care what nobody want to say. Me no want no man in a church.
What?
I said what I said. If you're in a church, me don't want to.
Why, Jody Ann? Talk to me. Because listen, let me drop this out there. I can be a little naive, right? You can see the innocence in me. Certain things I don't really know.
You do watch the program?
Yeah.
Me don't want nobody in a church.
Yeah, but you're what? No.
To all the people in church, bless your heart. Me don't want nobody in a church.
But here's the deal, though. You're always getting the story from the person who's tailoring on the story. You know, the person who tell you the story in the Jody Ann. And I saw the story go 9 times out of 10. You know, with the old man in the church. And don't get me wrong. A lot of crosses out hang out within the walls of the church.
I mean, if you tell about the man where the plan for kill me and my picnic, oh,
church man.
When not ready for prayer, that pray for me. Oh gosh, that's speaking of tongues. And me for
cool, no man. Wait. All right, them cross out then.
I don't want them.
No church.
No church.
Not even Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses. No tent. No church. TV church. Television. No. Not on YouTube. No. Okay. You need a natty by your front line, man.
No, but okay. So the guy I'm dating now, he's very spiritual, and he, you know, goes to church. He believes in God, but that preaching something and that.
The people who overdo it, you know, there's always something I'm cover, you know. The person, because here's the deal. I'm gonna tell you this.
Drink more water for me get myself in a trouble.
I know exactly where you're talking because I've met people before who you can't have one conversation with them. You can't say one line and then I bring up my church thing one time. You know? You cannot tell them, so why you know, so I go down the road and say, yeah.
I'm ready for chastise you.
Yes.
Chastise you for everything and then wicked.
Yes. So you do have a point. But here's what me you want to know. Because I always hear the ladies, and again, that's why I said you were the only one that weren't saying it from that perspective, but I always hear the ladies and blame the man, you know, right? I did an episode here called Crosses. Straight up. That was just the title of the show. Because some crosses out the road, right? But none of the crosses, I admit to them my crosses, you know. Everybody's a good, I'm a wholesome.
Man, me tell you, me say. Hey, listen, the man strong, you see? In strong. Listen, and that's another thing. So everybody's like, oh, I'm so innocent. The man is a problem. Man no good. Man no this. We all have our problems. Nobody is perfect. And sometimes we neng the man them, you know.
Man, you so fine right now.
No, man, we neng them.
Trust me, we love you right now.
Let me tell you something. Let me give you one joke. One night, me and my bed asleep. You see? Sleep. The man asleep, you know. Me asleep, you know. G call. Me jump out of my bed. I'ma say, you were on your phone. Him say, babe, I was on my what? I said, you were on your phone. Who are you talking to?
So where that come from, Jody?
Him say, Jody, where that come from? I say, you were on your phone. Kill me dead, the man did upon him phone.
What hour the morning was this? What hour the morning?
About 4 o'clock.
Hold on.
Me said, babe, you were on your phone. The man said, me? On my phone? He's like, Jodes, my phone is all the way over there. What do you mean I was? I did that on your phone. You.
So hold on. So did he convince you that night or no?
You convince me. I'm not the problem.
The man up on the phone. But you know, again, I love the honesty because here's what the difference is. Some woman I go tell the man, say, no matter what him say, him the dep on the phone. You know?
No, I never dep
So
on the phone.
are you the apologetic? If you're wrong, you apologize?
Yeah, man. I say sorry.
How often does that happen though?
Well, in our relationship, that was one time I had to say sorry.
If you can remember.
Come and wake up, the man out time sleep. I said, sorry, you did that on your phone.
When him phone across there.
And him phone did that all the way across the room.
Jano.
So that was one.
Another 1,400 for them stimulus. Another 14 for the stimulus.
And then we haven't had much, but when I'm wrong, I will say sorry. Come and know, say me half mad, you know.
Right.
So I will say, if I'm wrong, I'll come and I'll say, you know what? I really stop. Because sometimes the good part of my head chippy, and I say, say, how foolishness you do. Especially when after hours, I sit down and think about it. I say, girl, say how foolishness you do. And I will say, no, I'll say sorry. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And it's not even just in relationships. In friendships, in anything, if I'm wrong, I will come and say I'm wrong. Sometimes it will take me a while.
In a short, it's not true. I didn't even talk about it. We can't just roll up and be like, yo, babe, it's a short vibes, you know?
Well, when I had to say sorry that time, I did really... First, I did have to cook a nice meal. I did have to drop a nice little meal.
Oh, you mean?
And set the mood. And then just put on a nice little lingerie. And
apologize.
You know, I was like, babe, I'm so sorry. I know I accused you of something that
with a little piece of thigh pushing
yeah, you know, I know I'm sorry. And I know you weren't on your phone. And I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was dreaming. And I'm sorry. He was like, I'll think about it. I was like, really? He's like...
John knows, star. It's a matter about. And I know the people here. I know the people here who are lighters up right about me. You know who they are. But it's all good. It's all gravy. Mesh and it's all good. I love that because we need that. You know, sometimes a lot of women they don't know if it's anything wrong. And I think it's a culture thing. I think societally, I preach this all the time. Sounds silly. Mm-hmm. When you look at a boy I grew up with, them say, what are little boys made of? Mm-hmm. Frogs and snails and puppy dog's tails, right? Mm-hmm. What are little girls made of? Sugar and spice and all things nice. So the thing is, we're conditioned that the woman is always right. She's always going to be that person, that whole, if mama ain't happy, the house ain't happy. Sometimes mama be tripping. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I love the fact that you can do it. Now, here's the deal. I've heard some ladies out in these streets putting down some lists and some criteria, right? I've had conversations with friends of mine, right? That give me the criteria, the list of what them I look for in a man, right? As you check off the list of the part, but this a man I want you. Because as you go through, I'm like, this dude, what you listed right here is out of your league. You want him in shape. You haven't been in shape in ages, right?
Exactly.
You want the man to have money. You've been broke since you've been 3, right?
Exactly.
All of them look. Talk to me about that.
You know, and that I go right back to my 6 years. I knew that I could not allow someone to enter into my toxicity mm-hmm. during my 6 years of trying to heal from a bad situation.
Right.
So if you're in a certain place, you have to work on yourself before you can entertain someone else in your space. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I knew during those 6 years, it wasn't fair for me to have somebody come into my space knowing that I wasn't healed, knowing that I was going through all of this mentally in my head, you know? So I was like, it's best, even though I knew maybe somebody who was worth it would have been in the lot during those 6 years.
Right.
I was mindful of the fact that I don't want to hurt somebody else because I was hurting.
Respect that.
You know? So you have to work on yourself, and you cannot go out there and list a list of laundry things that you want from a partner and you're not willing to give yourself.
Right.
You know, so for me, like, I know some of the things that I'm looking for. I made sure that I had them in myself before I could look to them for somebody else. So I know I want a go-getter. I cannot date a lazy man.
Right.
Like, that laziness scratch my skin. Like, give me bump and hives and everything all over, all fever. You know, I can't date a lazy man. So if you're one of those men who go and sit down and just don't try to help yourself and try to, you know, elevate us. Because if me make $2 and you make $1, 2 and 1 make 3.
Right.
So even if you are not making $1 million, I'm not looking for somebody's risk because I work hard myself.
Right.
But I think, you know, you can grow together. So if you know, say you lazy and you're going to tell somebody, oh, me don't want a broke man, and you broke yourself. Oh, that work.
That no, I know too.
If you're going to look at somebody and be like, oh, you know what? I don't want somebody who going to cheat on me. And you yourself probably flirting and inviting other people into your space. How that works. So anything that you're asking for, you have to be able to give the same. You understand? Because I feel like life, energy, and feelings are like a boomerang. What you give, sometimes what you get back. No, let me put it out there. Sometimes it doesn't work where, you know, you get back what you give, and that too is okay. It's a learning process. But at the same time, you have to just set up yourself to be able to whatever you are giving is what you're looking to get. You can't just make a list and be like, okay, I want a $5 million house, but you don't have 5.
I love that. I love that. And I hope the words are dropping where it's supposed to drop, because that's what's happening in these streets. People are asking for things where they don't possess themselves. You know what I mean? You want a faithful man, but you're loose now, you're a thing. You know what I mean? I call it sexually overt. You know what I'm saying?
And that's another thing too. People look at men and be like, oh, the men are the ones who this and the men are the ones who that. People need to stop. Like, sometimes I feel bad. And when you hear somebody like me say not all men are bad, you must understand what I'm trying to say and where I'm coming from.
Right.
So people are going to be people. Don't use one blanket statement and throw it over all men. You have good men out there. There are good men out there. Do they have problems, or do they have like qualities that, you know, you may have to give and take and, you know, work with? Absolutely. Do you have qualities that you have to learn so somebody to give and take?
Right.
Come here and tell us, say the man will take me up, me grateful for him, you know.
1,400 more upon this.
Listen, Biden need to give my extra 14. Come here, tell you. So it's like, whatever you give, you have to learn to understand that. Whatever you want to get, you have to understand too that you have to be able to give it. That's plain old straight.
And that's all I think many people are asking for. I think a lot of this stuff is societal, and certain things are created and we run with it, right? The whole, again, you know, if the mama ain't happy, the household ain't happy. And I ain't mad at it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Now, the other thing I come across out here as we have these conversations now, Jody Ann, is accept me for who I am and what that really means, right? My thing pretty much is, if I meet you and you're going to tell me, say, well, this is home staying. If you take me for, I know I don't have to do that, right? Because I got baggage on my own. You don't want to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take the best of you. You know that we have things to work on. You take the best of me. I'm going to work on some stuff. You're going to work on some stuff. But not tell me something if I accept you for who you are.
So my point to that is that, you know, I understand that we're all a work in progress. And there are things that, you know, you can say, boy, you do this and let us try and see if we can work on it. But I kind of disagree to the point where I don't think somebody should come and tell you to change who you are. And I believe in accepting people for who you are, but at the same time, you must always try to be a better version of yourself.
Right.
So if it is that your partner is telling you, you know what, we can probably try to do this a little different because it will make you a better person.
Right.
As long as you're accepting of the criticism and you are willing to work on whatever it is.
Right.
Then you can. But if you're comfortable with it.
But I must necessarily tell you to change who you are for you, you know. I mean, that's better than me. That's that thing the way you're going with. I mean, I really too dig that, you know. That don't work for me.
And it has to be a conversation. It has to be a conversation. It can't just be, you know what, I don't like what you do and you have to change it kind of thing. It has to be a conversation. It has to be you come to a middle ground and be like, you know what, babe, this is what we decide to do. And this is how I'm going to meet you halfway. If I can't change what it is that you don't like wholeheartedly, at least let me put this foot forward and this is how I'm going. And then you can monitor to say, you know what, this is how I'm doing it. You know, let us meet halfway.
Right.
But in terms of trying to change somebody totally from something that they're doing, like me did date one guy, and me love my shorts. I don't care what nobody want to say. I like my shorts. Now, granted, I think I dress based on you know what is appropriate.
Right.
So if you invite me to your company dinner, I'm not going to wear my shorts. I'm going to wear a nice dress and whatever, because I think I dress appropriately depending on where I'm going.
Right.
When it come on to carnival, my shorts I'm always up here. I make no apologies about it. When the breeze blow, my bottom cool.
Is I hate that.
So yeah. So he was like, I remember
So when the breeze blow,
your bottom cool, because that's how short the shorts is. So I remember he messaged me and he was like, oh, you know, I saw you posted a picture on Instagram with your shorts. Why your shorts have to be so short? I said, because I buy it short. I'm going to wear it short. Oh, you know, I don't appreciate your shorts being that short.
But you're at Carnival.
I was at that Carnival party. And he was like, I don't appreciate your shorts being that short. You know, I think that now that you're dating somebody, you have to think about the things that you wear. I said, sir.
Damn.
When they didn't meet me.
Damn. My bottom did cool.
My bottom did cool. Cool, breezy cool. So, you gonna come tell me now, sir,
right.
say you want me change my shots
right.
at a carnival party. Sir.
That's a control thing.
Yeah, that not gonna work. So you see, from me, see that is a red flag.
And
I mean, to unruly if you control them kind of way, if you tell me what kind of shots for wear.
So you knew this wasn't going nowhere.
No.
Right.
So me did have to done turn Casper. But that's ghost.
Yo, you be ghosting people a lot, don't you? You be ghosting these dudes, don't you? I'm just saying. Them not watch.
Them I watch.
Not watch.
I have it on my live.
Oh, snap. And them on the live right about now. Ladies and gentlemen, we're chopping it up right now, Miss Jody Ann Gray. Again, I dig the honesty, I dig the vibe, I dig the energy. I did an episode, and that's a real episode, you know. I did an episode where I spoke to a young lady who had, she wrote a book called Wounded Survivor. Personal memoirs of surviving sexual abuse, illnesses, both mental and physical,
right.
and of course, loss of loved ones, right? And I started it by saying, because it was last month, we're talking culture. Reggae music, that's a culture. The food, that's a culture, right? Our sports, our track, whatever, that's the culture. The unfortunate thing is sexual abuse of our young women, and it's seeping into being our young men too, but sexual abuse, especially at the hands of older men, that whole statutory situation. The unfortunate thing is our culture. We've grown up in a situation, and not just in Jamaica, but here too, where if you meet 3 women, one of them has been a victim of some form of sexual abuse.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we don't call it sexual abuse if they didn't end up bruised and broken, you know what I mean? And injured. And oftentimes dead. We not call it that. You know what I'm saying? And I had a real gripe with the fact that a woman said to me, don't speak of it as in the culture vibes, because, you know, we celebrate something right about, and it taints that. And I was a little ticked off because I'm saying, you know what, it's a part of the culture. It's an ill part of the culture, and it needs to be fixed, right? Talk to me a little bit about that. Growing up in Jamaica, or not just Jamaica, just as a woman navigating your way in this industry too. How do you deal with the effects and the effects of this whole sexual harassment, sexual abuse of our ladies?
Let me just say, you know, it's something I take seriously. And especially with or young girls, you know, I feel like they're not given the opportunity to grow. And I think too, a lot of the people that are close are the main culprits. Unfortunately. And, you know, our mothers have to work, our fathers have to work. And, you know, at some point you're going to have to be left with somebody. At some point a level of trust have to be instilled because you have to survive, you know? I must say, I've had my rounds, I've had my bouts when I was younger, but I think my mouth saved me from a lot of things.
Right.
I was always very outspoken. I held nothing back.
So then, she ever tell somebody, no?
Yeah, so everybody knows, say, you see, once you touch me, the world are gonna know. Come, I go get one speaker and I go tell everybody, say you touch me.
Timmy, touch me.
Everybody are gonna know.
Wow.
So, you know, sometimes it's unfortunate. And G Cole, that's why I go right back to the point where even with my daughter, I teach her, speak up, speak out. Don't be afraid, Pumpkin, to tell me what's going on. Speak out. Because when you grow a child to be timid, when you grow a child to be reserved, that's exactly what's going to happen in many situations across the board. So I think we need to first get rid of that culture where we tell a child, as I said earlier, to be seen and not heard. And we all can attest to that. Where parents will tell me, oh, shut up. I don't want to hear nothing.
Big people that talk.
You know what I mean? And granted, again, I believe there has to be a level of respect.
Right.
But you have to allow kids to be assertive.
Yeah.
My daughter, if anybody touch her, I'm sorry.
She had mini you.
No, man. That no afraid. Anybody who know my daughter will tell you that no all her mouth for nobody. So, you know, that is the unfortunate part of our culture. Going in the industry, as you mentioned, I haven't had to deal with that because I've always made myself be clear. This is what I'm here for. I am here to either interview, I'm here for a job, I'm here. Everybody always knew exactly what it is I'm about. Whenever I do something, I make my intentions clear. So I don't flaunt around and be like, oh, you know what? I want to interview with you.
I'm like a shots.
Yeah, how are you doing? You cannot call me and talk to me about anything outside of the industry. I'm not entertaining it. That's not what I'm about.
Right.
You know, so I think when you're assertive and you make your intentions clear, it works out a little bit different for you.
Yeah.
It is not right for men to feel that they have the opportunity to come on to women or children.
Right.
Know your place. Know your lane.
Right.
You understand? And I think too, men in power, men who are popular, not all of them, let me just make that clear.
Right.
But I think some of them think that they're entitled.
Yep.
And that level of entitlement is what helps to lead to the abuse.
Right.
You know? So it's just a matter of, you know, parents, I want to stress this. Allow your kids to speak up.
Right.
Allow them to be who they are. Because when things are happening, they'll be more inclined to tell you.
Right. Nurture the confidence.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
And I tell you, when I growing up, the amount of shut up me ear, but you me did unruly from morning. All when them tell me to shut up, me don't listen.
It's a loader.
Me get louder. So, you know, for me, my personality was what helped me through, you know, a lot of these situations. But not a lot of people have that personality. And I mean, it is unfortunate. I've seen so many women go through abuse. I see people come in my DM sharing stories of abuse. And, you know, I empathize with them and I just wish situations were different. And another thing I hate, don't tell me because I wear a short skirt, I deserve abuse.
Right.
Don't tell me because I walk a certain way, I deserve abuse. Don't tell me because you see me dancing, I deserve abuse. Nobody deserves that. And nothing warrants you being abused.
I love that. I love that thought there. And we have a lot of men watching. We have a lot of women watching. And I tell you this, I love getting that because I'm a firm believer in certain things. We got to make the qualified people speak on it. Just this is how I felt when I heard people making decisions in government about choices that a woman can make. And there was not one single woman in the room. You know what I mean? A bunch of men making decisions on pro-life versus, you know what I'm saying? We're not qualified for that. Sometimes you just got to step aside and make the powers that may do what they're supposed to do. Now, speaking again along the same lines, right? We do also have who I deem the folks that make it bad, make things more challenging, and those are the folks who lead with the anatomy. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, yo, I'm not gonna get women to forget because I look a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And you see that a lot too. And the unfortunate thing is it blurs the line. So no, don't get me wrong, wrong is wrong. But because that chick over there leads that way and that chick leads over there, then now all of a sudden somebody comes to the door who ain't with that. And you can't tell the difference, right? Talk to me a little bit about that in the industry too. And even outside of the industry, just folks leading with the anatomy. Because it's not something, to me, I have a problem with it because I see where it's leading. And I think it's going to negatively affect other people down the road. I have a daughter. And I think about my daughter going into interviews and going into places, right? Where her predecessor went in before her, went in leading with something else. So now she's going in there now to be treated based on whatever happened previously. Talk to me a little bit about that.
And that's how we are as humans. You know, we lead by what we knew before. And a lot of people are not susceptible to change. They don't want change, you know? So that makes it a little bit harder. But I say this. It's okay for people to confidently go into situations hoping to make a change. And even if you don't, it's okay to at least make that move. You'll have people who will set things before and, the powers that be wants it that way. But sometimes you just have to confidently put whatever it is that you're putting forward and allow them to see how this can build or strengthen whatever it is that they already have existing. And I think that is what will help. I mean, I agree that you have some people who are set in their ways and this is how they want it and this is how it must stay. And because I did it this way or my predecessor did it this way, this is how it should be. But sometimes you can go in, because I've had a lot of situations, G. Cole, and I share this humbly. I've been in a lot of situations of leadership, even coming from Jamaica, where things were a certain way. And I go in, even from high school, when I was head girl of Merle Grove, there were things that were a certain way. And I went in and I was like, you know what? We can do this way. And a lot of people may not agree with it at first, but when you present it and allow people to see how it will positively impact whatever society or space you're holding, then it will make the situation a little bit different.
Right.
So I feel like people are used to old habits and people are used to what they want. But at the same time, if you just present the change, hope for the change and be the change, there will be a change. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, definitely. And especially for the upcomers right now, I was talking to this lady the other day about what I see in the youth right now. Because we grew up in a time and space where people always say, boy, the world I go to hell in a handbasket. No, them youth, yeah. You know what I mean? Like I said, never bad.
From a long time.
You know what I mean? Every generation blame the other one. But I said, especially when we had the whole Black Lives Matter movement going on and so forth, and I'm saying, yo, these youths right here, these kids coming up, I think I have a lot more faith in them than I have in the generation that I'm following. You know what I'm saying? And I have more faith in the kids coming up than my predecessors. When you sit back and you watch, we just come through this whole heated racial tension vibes going on in the U.S. and it kind of spread.
We don't come through it. We're still in it.
You're absolutely right. It's still a go on. And it permeated the era and go in different places, different countries. And it's not like it wasn't other places before, but when you lift the rug up and you allow people to do what they want to do and say what they want to say. But my observation of the youth and how they handled it, I was amazed and I was proud.
You know what? Let us be fair. We're not in an era anymore where, the Rosa Parks era where people just shut up. We're not in that era anymore. Those days are gone. And we've evolved as a people, and we are standing up and speaking out. We have the advent of social media, which is, really allowing us to see things on a wider perspective.
Right.
Rather than, we were fed what they chose to feed to us. So now we are not sifting the information anymore. It is made available to everyone. You understand? So it's not an era where you can tell a man, say, yo, you're black, sit down in the back of the bus, shut up. We are now revolutionized to the point where we will fight back. We will lick in your behind if you're fast with we. And it's just a matter of, and it's unfortunate that we are now heightened. Because racism was never eliminated from our society. Never. It was never eliminated from our society. But I think now it is becoming predominant because of people like Donald Trump who made it known that he was racist.
So almost like it's okay to show your true colors.
You understand? So now these people are always racist.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I remember, what's so funny? About 2 years ago, it was about 2.5 years ago. I won't mention who it was. There was a girl that I followed. She's, light skinned. She's not white. And I liked how she moved in media, and I sent her a DM, and I was like, I really like your work. Share with me how you got in media. At that point, I was like, I really wanted to try to see how I could get in the industry. And do you know, she replied to me, and she was like, oh, I looked at your profile. Number one, you have a Jamaican accent. You're Jamaican, and I don't see you going far in media, especially with your skin color.
Wow. Straight up.
Straight up. And that was the first time I really experienced racism.
Right.
And the thing is, she wasn't white.
Right.
She was just of a lighter complexion.
Right.
You know, so it has always been there.
Right.
It's just that now with social media, it's been brought to our faces because we're now being able to take out the phones and video different situations of racism.
Transparency.
And, you know, you experience racism in the workplace. And I remember when I came to the US and I was applying for jobs, what struck me was at the end of every single application,
What color are you?
it tells you, not even about the color, but it tells you this person is an equal right opportunity, da, 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 da. And I said to myself, for you to have to state.
Yeah. That means that there's some that are not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For you to have to openly state that you are equal, you're not racist, there's a problem with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you apply, I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Oh,
when you
absolutely.
apply for these jobs, at the bottom of every single application,
Equal opportunity
they tell you equal
employer.
opportunity employer and not whatever for racism. And I said, the fact that you have to state that, there's something seriously wrong with our society.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it has always been there, G. Cole. And I love the fact that this now generation has a no tolerance level.
Right. Right.
And we're not in the space where you can just gag us. We're not that type of people anymore.
And it's not just us either. I think I've always felt like one of the things that made this mobilization of our youth so effective was the fact that it wasn't just our youth. You know what I'm saying? Because the older generation, including my generation, my age, you know, you do have some non-black friends and they're cool with you at the office and whatever the case may be. Do not ask them to come suit up and come out in the revolution with you because they ain't going. You know what I mean?
Going.
These little 17, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds, when they're going out in there, you know what I mean? They turn around. Joshua is out there with them too.
yeah, you'll see them.
You know what I'm
You'll
saying?
see them. And you saw that a lot during
Yep.
last year and the last 2 years. You see them, you
Yeah.
know? There's a change. There's a shift as it relates to, you know, us being mobilized, not just blacks. You have Spanish, you have whites who are going out there who they know that this is wrong.
Right, right.
And they support us, you know? And I think too, racism goes both ways.
Oh, it sure does.
Because, you know, I know being a black person, we focus on whites being racist to us. But we can be considered racist too, because you know we label.
Oh yeah.
We label white people. We say a lot of things about white people, and just as I said about men, not all white people are racist. Not all
Right.
white people are bad. You know, it's just an unfortunate situation where it's becoming more predominant. As I said, through social media, you're seeing it every day. You're seeing
Right.
instances, people are sharing stories. Some of them not even true, but people are sharing their stories. So you find that you are more of an aggressor towards a white person because you feel, say, yo, once you say a white man, you know, all the wall over this are racist because it's white.
Yeah, man.
You know?
I look on my sideways.
Yeah,
You
and
know what I mean?
sometimes the man just a look, and a
Yeah.
man him own business. But because of what we've preconceived over these past couple of years,
Right.
everybody white racist.
Yeah.
And that too, unfortunately, is not fair.
Yeah.
But at this point, it is what it is.
Now it's a trial, and it's like sometimes I'm traveling and I take teams with me, and I'm in some parts of the country that Wisconsin, you know what I mean, Nebraska, places like those, and I see the reaction more than I see the action. So for lack of a better word, sometimes I see our people reacting to something before it happens. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
like your predisposition to think that person's thinking ill of you. And if they make eye contact, truth is they probably may never really have sat down in the same spot with a black person before. But we're so on guard.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Because of what is happening.
Yeah, and it's a little dangerous. Raising a young woman, a young lady in this time, because we got to deal with racism is one thing. I'm a firm believer that as ill as racism is in the United States of America, there's a little thing that's a little bit worse than it. They just don't focus on it. It's called sexism.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
As we see with the situation with Kamala Harris and stuff like that, right? The triumph that it was for our young ladies to say somebody looking like them
Exactly.
is up in there.
Exactly.
What do you say to your daughter growing up right now in the U.S. as a young girl coming up?
You know what? I teach my daughter, since she's been born, I used to talk to my daughter. Like, I never had baby talks with my daughter. I always had grown conversations. And people used to think I'm mad because they're like, the baby can't even hear you. What are you talking about? And I used to tell her, I said, listen, you have a place in this world. You are just as important as every single person in this world. You have the power to be exactly who you want to be, not just for yourself, but to this society. So every morning I'd tell her, remember, you're a leader.
Right.
You're not a follower.
Right.
So, from growing up, I remember she had a situation and the teacher told me, she turned to the little girl and said, listen, my mom said I'm a leader. I'm not a follower. You know? So it's just a situation of just letting them know, letting them grow confidence, reinforcing how special they are, how beautiful they are, how worthy they are.
Right.
And just really allowing them to know that you have a place in this world and don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Wow. Nurturing. And that's the thing that I love, because we are, I said this all the time, you do realize that soon and very soon, the little kids that we're looking at right now and saying, hey, little one, that's the one that's going to be flying your plane. You know what I'm saying? That's the one that's going to be doing your taxes.
Medication.
Your doctors taking care of you, performing surgery.
Absolutely.
So we got to do right by them from now, especially little brown and black boys and girls. And that's why I love, especially, again, I'm a girl dad. You know what I'm saying? I got more nieces than I have nephews. All right? I got more goddaughters than I have godsons. And of course, I got a daughter. And watching these young women come up right now, I'm saying to myself, we need to do all we can to make sure that these young girls know that they're just as strong. I said on the show today, I was saying, I know more superheroes that are women than they are men. Not to discredit the men, not at all. Man, I'm do them, Tina. But I've seen women turn water into wine more so than I've seen men do it. I've seen women turn stone into bread more so than I've seen men do it. And we have to nurture that from the youths coming all the way up.
And another thing to G. Cole, praise your kids. Praise them. Even if you don't understand what they do, praise them. My daughter, she have something. Geez, I'm that nice. Genius, oh my God, how you do that? And sometimes...
the macaroni necklace?
Yeah, God bless what it is. Geez, that look nice. And she will explain, Mommy, let me tell you how I did it. And I did this. And I did that. And this is how I do it. And Mommy, I draw the thing around here. And I did that. And I said, girl, that needs to be in an art show. That looks so good. And she would say, but that's how you nurture the confidence. You build the confidence, So even if somebody else tells you that, that don't look good, my mother, who is the person I look up to, told me that it looked good. So me not care what you want.
Can't tell me nothing.
When she was 4, somebody at school told her that they hated her socks because she had like a socks with some flowers. She used to love the colored socks. And I used to get them for her. That's what you like? I'm going to get them for you. And it wasn't against the school rules or anything, so she could wear them. And somebody told her, she was a little bully. And she was like, I don't like your socks. Your socks ugly. And she turned to the little girl and said, well, if you don't like them, do something about them. Just buy me some new socks. I'll wear them.
Damn. That's what she said?
She was 4.
Did she get socks?
She never buy the socks. The girl just love chats. She chat too much.
The bullies.
But my point is, you have to build that confidence in them from this high.
Yeah.
For me, I never had anyone who would be like, I never had that. But thanks be to God, I was always confident in who I am.
That was a natural thing for you.
It was. It was. And it took me a while, G. Cole, to get where I am, because there are times when I was not always this confident. Even, from 2012, I remember, like, during the first 6 months after my incident, like, my face was twisted. I never felt beautiful. I never felt like looking in a mirror. I was a hot mess. But I had to dig deep, and I had to say, you know what? This is who you are. This doesn't define you. Right. This is who you are. Worry about your soul and not about your outer being. And I had to dig deep. And, some people don't have the luxury of being able to find that from their inner self, which is why as parents, we have to try to boost our kids. Yeah. We have to help them to see the importance of, just being confident, being strong, being able to know that no matter what happens, you are special, you know? And I used to always sing to my daughter every single night, God made you special. And I used to always sing that, you know?
Well on. Wait, you to sing for her?
You know, God made you special.
No, sing it. No.
I said you set me up, you know?
Yes,
set me up.
Yes,
so I used to sing that and even when like she would spend time with her family, because you know I have a close family and everybody wants her, and they would tell me, listen to me, you better tape it on your phone and send it, you know, because I cannot get this little girl to go to sleep until you sing God Made You Special. You know, so it is like you have to find a way to enforce that in them. And when you see how my daughter walk, and I'm so grateful because I'm like, God, you know, this is what I want. I want her to be confident. I want her to, you know who she is, be in tune with who she is. And I pray to God she grows with that confidence and that nobody ever breaks that, you know? So we have to really, as parents, just try to nurture our kids' confidence, allow it to grow, allow it to flourish, and we water it every single day. Even if we don't understand what it is that they're doing, still allow them to know that they're praised. Don't always talk about the bad things. And sometimes I'm guilty of that. I'll be like, Janessa, you need to do this better, you need to do that better. But at the same time, I try to find a balance to still be able to praise her for the things that she does right.
The little things.
The little things. And even again, if it don't make sense to us, we just have to nurture that confidence, boost it and build it.
You know, I hear you talk about that, and the thing that resonates with me is this. I have conversations with a couple of people, some women going through some stuff, and I always say sometimes we got to dig deep. We got to find that testicular fortitude, that internal fortitude. You know, we got to stand up. It's within us, right?
Absolutely.
But here's the crazy thing. Sometimes it ain't. You know why? Because like you said, you see what you're nurturing in your daughter right about now? You had it naturally. But sometimes they don't. And nobody took the time to nurture it. And the other thing pretty much is sometimes they did, but somebody beat it out of them, broke it down. You know what I mean?
And I can resonate with that because, as I said, you know, when I tell you, I face some serious times from 2012 to about 2016. Those are some of the hardest years of my life.
Right.
And I was faced with backlash. I was faced with, you know, public criticism. I was faced with a lot of things that were not true. I was faced with, and I didn't feel worthy. And I swear, G. Cole, I do not know how I overcame that situation because I felt like there is no way I can come out of this situation alive. Like mentally, I was going to mad.
Right.
But one of the things that helped me is that I started going in the mirror. Like I remember when because I never used to want to put on my makeup. I never comb my hair. I never dress up anymore. And everybody who knows me knows that I love my fashion. I love dressing up. And there was a point in time when I didn't want to do any of that. God bless if I really wanted to even go in the bathroom and bathe.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I was like, girl, if they didn't get you physically, are you really going to allow them?
Right.
Allow it to defeat you mentally.
Right.
And I remember reading something online. I don't remember who it was from. And I remember when she said, you know, she started to literally go in the mirror and started talking to herself. And G. Cole, I literally used to get up every morning and I used to just start. The first morning I did it, I was like, girl, you're beautiful. Your story isn't over.
Right.
You're going to overcome this. You're going to be okay. I got up the second morning. Girl, you're beautiful. You're going to overcome this. You're going to be okay. It's not going to last forever. Right. And I started repeating it every day. And I started to feel better about myself. And I started to look in the mirror. And I was like, you know what? Let me beat my face.
Right.
You know what? Let me go to the hairdresser and do my hair.
Right.
You know what? Let me start walking. Let me start going out.
Right.
Let me start doing the things that I love, that makes me me. You know, so sometimes, as I said earlier, not everybody have the luxury and the strength to really get, and you don't know how strong you are until you have no choice. And that was me. If anybody did tell me, somebody I go come through this, I mean, no mad, I mean, not eat out a garbage, I mean, little bit mad though, but me not fully mad. Toops, little toops. It licked me little bit, toops. But if anybody had told me that I was going to, be able to come out of this and talk the way I'm talking now, G. Cole, I have Anne Jeffrey, my best friend. That girl used to talk me into this like every day.
Right.
She used to be there just talking, speaking life into me. Wow. And I used to say, Anne, you don't know, yeah, man. Yo, I better you come for the baby, yeah, man. And make me just do it with my life, cause this now work out for me.
Right.
And then I look back now and I was like, can you imagine?
Wow.
If I had left my baby an orphan,
Right.
if I had done away with my life because the situation that was in front of me, I didn't see beyond that situation. And I think anybody who's going through something, that's what you have to do.
Right.
Take yourself outside of the present situation and look beyond that. What if?
Wow.
And, if you see yourself being a doctor and you feel like you were stopped along the way, try to look over what is happening currently and see yourself as a doctor.
Yeah.
You literally have to behave like a mad woman now. And say, you see yourself walking at the surgery. Yeah. You see yourself with the tools them and do the surgery. Yeah. You see yourself finish medical school. You literally have to just behave like these are things that are happening in your life, even though they aren't.
Inspire yourself. Yeah.
So like me, I see myself on the Jody Ann Gray show.
Right.
I see myself, on every platform just sharing with people. You know what? Pick up your head, keep it moving.
Right.
I see myself going on some of the biggest stages, just sharing my life and my story with people just to motivate and inspire them.
Right.
Me not have the first clue how that I got happen, but me out there. You want to see me in my white suit? Oh, nice
Cool,
and clean,
man.
so cute.
Cool,
Girl, nice. Girl, just walk across the stage. Everybody a clap. Thank you for your inspiration.
Oprah who?
Yeah, Oprah not have nothing for me. I don't have the first clue where that is going to take me.
Right.
But this is where it starts.
Mentally, I'm there.
And this is where it starts.
Wow. I love that.
So you have to put your head and your heart into it. And even if you don't see it, start believing it.
Right.
Make people say you're mad.
Right.
Me I love one book, with all of the dates them. What me I gonna get booked for? Nobody no book me.
Oh, you
Who
mean?
book me? Not a soul book me for motivational speaking, but that's how it go.
But you're on your way though.
You understand? So
Yeah.
you literally have to, anybody who's going through something, just try to look beyond the situation. The situation may seem grave right now, but it too shall pass.
Man, I dig it. Powerful words. And again, I know a lot of people are benefiting from them right about now. Again, I talk about my being a parent, right? Daughter born when I was 21 years old, right? Life changed. Tell people this all the time. We visually look at it as kids needing us. And they do. We provide, we protect, right? But I feel like a lot of times we need them more than they know, right? My kid made me who I am, I can say.
Absolutely.
How did your baby girl contribute to you being Jody Ann Gray today?
Whoa. You know what? From day one, I remember the night when I was shot. The first thing I said to the gunman, I said, "Sir, I'm pregnant. Please, don't shoot me." And he shot. And I remember coming out of the car after, they had driven off, and I was like, help me save my baby, help me save my baby. That's all. That was the only thing in my head. Help me save my baby, I need help to save my baby. And I remember this man drove up and he was like, "What happened?" I was like, "I was shot. Take me to the hospital. I need to save my baby." And the man said, "Yo, me not nasty up my car, Wait until the police them come for you, And I remember when the police came, I was like, "Listen," they were like, "What's your name?" I said, "Don't ask me nothing. Just take me to the hospital so I can save my baby." So from that time, I knew that little girl was going to be a driving force in my life.
Wow.
My instinct was always to protect her. And, now every single thing I do it because, I've had to have that unfortunate conversation with her. But I want her to look and say, "You know what? My mommy did this for me.
Right.
My mommy saved me. My mommy, after all of what she's been through, she worked hard to make me have a good life."
Right.
So I want her to see that no matter what trials and tribulations you go through, you can always do it. And she's always been my driving force. When I look at her, I'm like, oh my God, I have a baby looking at me. And when she used to look up at me when she's small, even though like I know I wanted to die in that instance, every time when she looked upon me, I saw hope.
Right, right.
Every time she looked upon me, I saw a reason to go on. Every time she looked upon me, I knew that there was somebody who I needed to set an example for, and that was her.
Wow.
So she has changed my life drastically. Even now, you know, I'm talking to you with tears. I remember 2 weeks ago, she made me a video, and because she loved to go on her iPad and make different videos, and she made me a video. And the message in the video, I'll show you when we're done with the interview. And the message in the video, she said, she put a lot of pictures of me like talking, hosting and stuff. I don't know where she got the pictures from, but she got them. And she did a voiceover and she said, no matter what, you have to believe in yourself. Even when it's hard, you have to. My mommy believed in herself and so should you.
Wow.
And
8?
She's 8.
Wow.
And when I saw that G. Cole, I'm talking to you, my eyes are filled with like, I know I have to keep going for her. If I don't do it for myself, I have to do it for her.
Right,
I have to give her something to look up to.
Right.
You know?
Right,
and she's an amazing little girl, and she encourages me every day to be a better version of myself, you know?
Wow.
She and I remember even something as simple as my website being made, and she came and she was like, oh, mommy, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. Mommy, you're amazing. Mommy, I'm so proud. And she danced around the room and she said, my mommy have a website. My mommy have a website. You know, and those little things, it really, yeah, man, it really encourages you. Like she's an amazing little girl.
Wow.
And she pushes me so hard.
Right.
And even sometimes when I wanted to give up, just seeing her and who she was never even gave me the opportunity to. I couldn't.
Wow.
I couldn't.
She don't know how much of an inspiration she is, small as she is. And that's life. That's the amazing thing about life. Iron sharpen iron, and we find strength from where we need to. Big up yourself, young lady. You're doing the do. We talk about all these things a lot of times. It circles back to healing. Right? A lot of time, this healing thing is what we search for. We go through our triumphs, we go through our traumas, all them things. But even with triumph, sometimes there still is a lack of healing. You know what I mean? I feel like for you to be in the space you need to be, and when I see you do your thing right now, it's like you're championing your thing. There's a glow, there's an aura, there's an energy. I'm going to dig it. But to me, it's like that don't come without healing, right? I'm going through all you go through. You've had to find the healing. How do you identify? Can you remember that place, that point, that time where you're like, you know something, my healing has begun? Because, you know, sometimes carrying that burden in a way, well, you know.
Yeah, I think the time when I truly healed was when I had to let go of the hate of my attackers.
Right.
I had to let go of the hate because I got up every day wishing that they would die, wishing that somebody would have just beat them backside.
Right.
Like everything bad in the world would happen to them. And when I got to that point, and I remember going on my knees and I was like, God, I'm asking for deliverance. I'm asking you to just help me to let it go, you know, and understand that I need to move on. Because one thing I can tell people, and if there's anybody out there, if somebody has done you wrong and you spend your time hating them, you're hurting more than the person who hurt you.
Wow.
And I was hurting. I'm sure I was hurting more than the person who hurt me.
Right.
Because the person hurt me with the intention to hurt me. But when you sitting down wishing bad for your enemy, wishing bad, it takes more energy out of you more than it does for them.
That is so true.
You know, because people who are going to be who they are. And I think that day when I went on my knees and I called my best friend, I say, I can't do this no more. I have to let go of this baggage. I used to hate my attackers so much that I couldn't sleep for years. I had to go to the doctor to try to get to sleep. I had to take sleeping pills. I had to find a way.
Right.
But that wasn't helping. I had to dig deep within.
Yeah.
And be like, you know what? I need to let go.
Right.
I need to let it go to Jesus. Drop it at Jesus' foot.
Right.
And walk left it backside.
Mad.
So I'm to a point now where I don't even know where my attackers are. I don't care where they are.
Not your focus.
is not my focus. Nobody can come and tell me anything about them because I do not care.
Right.
I never knew I'd get to the point where I'm not afraid. I remember years I was like, I would never go back to Jamaica because this and that. I've been to Jamaica. Right. And if something happens to me in Jamaica, it's going to happen to me because it is supposed to happen.
Right.
That's where I have to put my mind frame.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I don't care. I had to let them go.
Right.
And I think the minute I let them go was when my healing began.
Wow. And I'm sure that probably affected and resonated at home too. If you're healing, your daughter can feel the healing. She can see the healing.
Because you know what too? We cannot love with hate.
The two can coexist.
It's like you can't have God and devil in the same house. It no work. You have to choose one. Pick a side, you know? And for me, it was like I couldn't hate my attacker, love my daughter,
right,
knowing that my daughter has a piece of my attacker.
Right.
So even though subconsciously you know it's your daughter and you have to love her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you go and carry a hate for somebody who is a part of her, whether or not you want to accept it subconsciously,
right,
it is going to affect your relationship with her.
Right.
And I knew that she didn't deserve that, and our relationship didn't deserve that either. So I had to get to a point where you have to let it go to Jesus.
Right.
You have to let it go. You can't carry it on forever. And G. Cole, I swear to you, the minute I let it go, everything started happening in my life.
Wow.
Like I couldn't get a job. I was unemployed for how many years? I was always miserable. My face always wrench up. I was a hot mess.
Right.
So it was affecting me more than it was affecting anybody who attacked me, you know?
Right.
And I just had to let it go.
Wow.
I had to. And that's where the healing began. And if you're going through something like that, that's where the healing will begin.
Right.
Because one of the things I know for a fact, you can't have a glass filled with mud and expect to pour clear water in it and see it. You're not going to see it.
Right.
What going to happen is that the water going to seep through the mud and all you're going to see is the mud.
Right.
So you have to get rid of the mud in order for God to be able to pour blessings into your life. And that's what I knew I had to do in order to get my blessings. And from that, I mean,
wow.
You know, I've just tried to surround myself with people who are positive. I try to surround myself with people who are always, you know, adding some value to my life and my development. And
I dig that.
It's just been working out for me. And I praise God for that because I remember where I'm coming from.
Right.
You know, I remember where my heart was. I remember where my head was. I remember where my energy was. And the minute I shift that G code, everything good started just happening in my life. Things just started happening one after the other. I'm going to say, God, you're goodie. You could have just tell me for Lego the people them. You could have just tell me, say, sir, you could have just talk to me and say, Lego the people them, and me I go bless you. Let it go. You never tell me, but...
Yeah. Mysterious ways. And I could have come with a burning bush and just make it happen.
Yeah, that's when it started happening. I just had to find that middle ground and just be able to just move on.
And the healing. We talk about the healing. I'm seeing the video. I saw the video with you in Jamaica. First of all, was the conch all it? I saw that video on YouTube page.
Yes.
Yeah, was the conch all that? Was it as good?
No, the conch did nice, bad. No, me for tell you how the conch did nice. The conch did nice. Sir, get deep in on me tell him, I say, sir, me I come back, come marriage you. Me. Cause I cooking the nice, bad.
Where was that? Where were you?
It was in Portland. I was in Portland. So we were in Port Antonio on our way to Portland. Oh, by the way, if it is that people are like wondering what the hell we're talking about. So guys, I have a YouTube channel. Please follow me. Please subscribe. Please like. Me just started, but me still want the views. I'm still wanting to watch it because the content is nice. It's new and you guys can leave your feedback. Even if it's not good, still leave your feedback. I'm open to good and bad feedback. It doesn't doesn't matter. Everything will help me to grow. But so I did a YouTube video where I went to Port, what you call it? Blue Lagoon, right? I went to Blue Lagoon, and I basically, it was a short video, but I did my entire journey, and we stopped by the roadside, and we ate conch, and we talked to this man, and we had coconuts, and we went on a raft and stuff. So yeah, that's what he's talking about. So this man on the way, I'm not telling him, go watch it. Go watch it.
You were having a grand time, I tell you that.
It was good. It was good, and I was grateful because in my head, I will never go back to Jamaica. If I go back to Jamaica, as I reach on the plane, I'm going to shoot me and kill me. Being able to overcome that fear was a blessing, and be able to go to my home and have a good time, that too was a blessing,
Wow.
And sometimes a lot of things live in, so sometimes we build some things in our head. Hey, everybody can be a movie star now. Sometimes we create some things in our head,
Imagination running wild.
Although we are a movie star now, we are a writer and director, I'm if I tell you, sir.
Trust me.
But, sometimes we have to just let go of those thoughts and just move forward. Just
and
go through.
Was that your first trip back to Jamaica?
It wasn't my first trip back. My first trip back was very quiet. I went to look for my grandmother. So I went down, and it was just a couple of days. I saw her and I left and I came back up.
Right.
So that was like my third trip. That was my third trip back. So the first 2 times I went, it was really quiet. And then after that, I was like, you know what? This is my home. Nobody now gonna make me afraid. Yeah. So if you look for me, I tell you which one of them. They are Blue Lagoon. I don't tell somebody raft.
Eating some conch.
Yeah, eat some conch. And I'll eat some lobster.
Cool, man.
And, big up Marvin. Marvin cooked me some lobster and, everything, So, it was an experience. It was good. Jamaica nice. I'm not care what anybody wants to say about Jamaica.
I can say, looking at the video, it was good. I have
a couple of more videos that I did too, and I'm going to upload them.
Wow.
But, Jamaica nice. And people talk about, crime and this and that. And I am somebody who is affected by crime. My own academy did mad, but that's another story. But, for me, like, everywhere have crime. Jamaica's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
And we must celebrate where we're from. And, you have some people who come foreign and don't go back or don't want to go back. And I know it's difficult because of what we see in the news and what we hear. But, even if we don't go back, still contribute to our country, still contribute, still do something to let people know that we're still there because that's our home and they need us.
That's true. That's true. I'll tell you this. I was in Portland probably 2 years ago. I want to see that video and I tell no lie, I almost booked that flight because the way how just seeing you enjoy it as much, you were having too much damn fun.
No, you see me though, G Cole, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Anybody who know me, beyond my ears, but anybody who know me, it's always a good time with me. Me make a fun out of everything. Cause life short, me I enjoy myself.
Live it.
Me I one of them man. You would listen. If you just give me the opportunity, me turn right so in a one party. I'm awful like that, big and awful. So it is just like anywhere you are, just make yourself happy. Do what's pleasing to you. I keep telling people that. Do what's pleasing to you. Don't watch what this person are gonna say, what that person they're gonna say, what a person are gonna do. Do if you happy, do it.
Wow.
Full stop. Drop mic.
And the thing about it too is it's so prehensile, it's so contagious. Just like the negative vibe is contagious, the positive vibe is contagious. And you know how much people you bring a smile to their face. A lot of people, because I'm watching even the dudes that are on the raft, and a lot of times, even though they're bringing people to their joy, it's just work for them, you know. You know what I mean? So to have you out there livening it up and just having that good vibe, I tell you, yeah, I want go, and I tell you, no lie, I wanted to go so bad.
I had somebody who DM'd me today too. It's so funny you said that. The person DM'd me and they were like, oh, I saw your trip. I want to know what's the best thing to do in Portland. What's this, that. I said, I don't know. I feel like the Jamaica Tourist Board for come link me up. I can't be a sports person.
Say, let's talk about it. I ain't doing this for free. But it's again, people ask me all the time, would you go back and live in Jamaica? And I've said no. But it's not because of any ill or whatever the case may be. Jamaica is my recharge spot, right? And I always feel like if I'm there 24/7, will I appreciate the value of it when I go there? Because you see, my thing, when the planes start descend, it's like euphoria for me. Come in and say, boy,
clap.
The wheels
me clap when it land.
You still doing the clap?
Me one of them, they will clap when it land. The last time I go down on me, one clap and me clap.
Listen, I'm in a business.
I'm home.
I'm in a business, but my claps are going up.
Yep.
You did a damn thing. And for those people in Portland right about now, if they go look up that video, they're gonna laugh their asses off too, because it was a vibe. Is that thing the name True Happiness? I always feel like we search for that outside.
But it's here.
It's here and we have to create it.
And I can't believe, I told somebody yesterday, I cannot believe that I am saying this, but I'm truly happy.
Wow.
I am happy.
Cool, man.
I am so happy. I'm content and I'm happy.
And it's good up, man. Naturally. Good up, man. Good up.
No, you know what? He adds to it. I'm not going to lie. He adds to it. He's an amazing guy. He adds to it. But it's not just about somebody else, because you can't rely on somebody else to be happy. It has to come from you.
I love that.
So people will add to it, but it really and truly relies on you.
That is so true, and I can't echo it more. So true. You show up to the party with your happiness.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's just like you show up with your defeat. Because a lot of times, you know, you lost long before. Mike Tyson said it one time that a lot of his people who lost the fights with him, they lost before they came into the ring.
Because mentally
they were already defeated.
Absolutely.
And it goes the same thing for the opposite in terms of your happiness. You show up and nobody now tell you must jump off of the cliff and glee, you know what I mean? But just don't allow that sadness, that melancholy to take a hold of you, because it festers and it grows way faster than
and you know what? I need people to know it's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry
cool.
sometime.
That's cool.
But at the end of the day, you need to find that inner strength to just keep going. And that's me. Like, if I ever find myself going to a slump, girl, brace up.
Yeah, you can't live in it.
So
because some people like to live in it, you know, and wallow in a spot there of sadness.
And I think it's a choice. I think happiness, at this point, now that I've been through it, I think happiness is a choice. You choose to be happy. You know, just as how you choose to be sad, you choose to be angry, you choose to be hateful, you choose to be mean. You choose the type of life that you want to live. And I feel like whatever is internal will draw everything external.
Right.
So if you're happy, I think you're going to attract people who are happy.
Yeah.
If you're always complaining, you're going to have a choir of complainers.
Yeah.
If you have people who are angry, you're going to attract. So I feel like your energy attracts what
you said it earlier,
are.
Boomerang.
It's like a boomerang effect. You attract what it is that you are exuding in our society. So for me, I just want to be happy. I just live in my life. And, you know, even on my social media pages, I share some of the stuff I'm doing. Not just to boast that I'm doing this, but to allow people to see that it's okay to go through the worst times in your life, get back up, and keep moving.
I dig that. And what I dig about that is this, and I see it with a lot of people too, is people, especially nowadays, because a lot of times the stuff that's posted, you know, it's solicitation of response from people, you know what I mean? And sometimes people feel like, well, trauma is going to give me those clicks versus something else. But I feel like people are so confident nowadays sharing their trauma and their pain, more so, even though we think of life as such frivolous times right now. But some people too confident sharing the pain and the trauma, and then they're a little timid with sharing the joy. You know what I mean? It's like almost, one, I don't know if they think they don't deserve that, if they haven't earned it, or people are going to judge me and say, yo, y'all feel your happiness. How come nobody says y'all feel the sorrow?
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Absolutely. And I remember posting something on my social media. I think it was on Instagram or Facebook. I don't remember. And I said, you know, make sure if you're happy on social media, you're happy in real life. Because a lot of people, they aren't really happy on social media.
Right.
You know, they are happy on social media, but they're not really happy in real life, you know? So for me, Gico, what you see is what you get.
Right.
You know, and people who know me can attest to that. Like, what you see is what you truly get.
Right.
So there are times when I wasn't posting for years because that's how I was feeling at that time.
You weren't there.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know, I remember deleting social media. You know, I used to get cyberbullied. I used to have people, you know, throwing stuff off. And I'm to a point now where, you know, people even still come on my stuff and they throw shade and they, you know, say negative things. I remember last year, my daughter's birthday, somebody came and wrote a whole post about my daughter.
Wow.
And the
on
bastard,
your social media?
On my social media. And about the bastard she is and whatever. And I remember showing my best friend and she started to cry. I said, girl, what are you crying for? And she looked on me. She was like, Because normally she knows that would have get me in a shell and I'd feel some type of way. G. Cole, I'm at that point, and that's another thing too. People need to just take the strength from some of the things that they've been through instead of just wallowing it.
Yeah.
Because for me don't care what you want to say about me, you know. So what you want to say. And you see if you say something bad about me nah block you.
Right.
Me I restrict you. Cause guess what? I'm going me and you alone I see it. I bet.
Ain't blocking it.
Me not block it.
Right.
Me I restrict it.
Right.
But if you say it, and I said this on a live the other day, I said if you're saying it to receive an audience, you're not getting no audience from me.
Not off of my thing.
No.
Yeah.
But me I keep your number. You're staying right there. But me I restrict you. So anything where you want to say, if you look for your audience, you're not going to get it. And me and you I see it.
Wow.
So you write it, me read it.
So you're pretty much taking away that power that they thought they were about to get right.
Absolutely. And they had it. They
Right.
at one point, G. Cole, I'm going to be honest with you, they had it.
Right.
Because they would write some things and I'd be like, oh my God, people for say that about me and I'm not trying to. No, you could have.
Say good up. Good up. Jody Ann, drop your social media for the people. I've got to even keep up with you. Drop the social media.
All right. So my Instagram is wait, hold on.
You're coming at me.
Sorry, wait. My Instagram is at Jodes Gray. Sorry, I had to think about that for a while. I apologize. So it's at Jodes Gray. So it's at JODEZGRAY. That's my Instagram. My Facebook is Jody Ann Gray. I have a public page, so you can like that there and join it. And I share a lot of stuff there as well. I have a website, so like if you're looking for booking for voiceovers, commercials, emceeing, motivational speaking, you can go on my website on jodyanngray.com and you can feel free to leave a booking inquiry there. And I have my YouTube page, which is at Jody Ann Gray Inc. So you can also go there and watch some of the motivational, Mondays that I've left there. And also some of the YouTube videos that I've also done. I haven't done a lot. I think I've only dropped one. I have a couple of interviews and stuff that I need to drop soon. So you can watch those there. But, you can feel free to join my space. And the only thing I want from all these spaces is for anybody, as I said before, my thing. And, Eddie Edwards acts as my manager right now, and he's doing an amazing job in really steering me in the right direction.
Big up, Eddie.
Eddie, yeah. So, one of the things that I've said to him, I said, Eddie, with everything I do, I just want to be authentic. I want to be myself. And he's like, Jody, I agree with you, and I'm going to just help to steer you in the right direction, Wow. So when people come to my social media pages or anywhere you may find me, I just want you to know that your situation doesn't define you.
Right.
So even if you know something about me, I'm not going to dwell on that. That is not what defines me.
Right.
And you shouldn't let it define you either.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I share pieces of my daughter. I used to, there was a point in time when I never used to put her up at all, but I'm like, that's my blessing. Who the hell am I hiding her from and why?
Right.
So I share pictures of my daughter. I do my cooking. I share pictures of my partying, share pictures of my work.
So you got skills in the kitchen like that?
Oh, son.
It's like that?
Son, let us do a showdown. I'm there. Listen, I love, you see me's and nyama. Me love eat. No, listen.
So you got to be able to put it down if you're going to eat it.
No, if me I can't eat it, I'm supposed to can cook it. That my grandmother teach me from me at 6. She said, listen, the way you love nyam, you need to come learn for fry a egg. So I cook a lot. I love cooking. I love cooking. So I cook a lot and I do a lot of artsy stuff. I'm very good with my hands. So I like making stuff, especially with my daughter. Like instead of buying a Christmas card, we'll sit and make one.
Wow.
And we make really nice cards, by the way. So I'll sell you one.
Cool, man.
And, so I do a lot. And I have to give God thanks. I think I have a lot of talent. And it's just for me to just dip into all of them and just do what makes me happy and share whatever I can with the world while I can. And the other thing too I want to share and use this platform to share is, I also have some T-shirts on my website. And
I was about to ask you about the sweatshirt because I'm digging it.
well, this is my brand T-shirt. So whenever I'm doing like any appearances and stuff, this is my Jody Ann Gray logo.
Make sure them again.
So you know when we stand up. This is my Jody Ann Gray logo. It was designed by Artist Boy. And so this is my branding. This is mine. But I have T-shirts with inspirational words, and I did that not for the money, but I did that because, I remember how I was feeling when I was feeling the way I was feeling. And it just took one inspirational word from somebody to make me feel a little bit better.
Right.
And I thought to myself, what better way to share words of inspiration than from someone who themselves at one point needed this form of inspiration. Right. So I have those T-shirts there. I have one that says fall 7 times, turn up 8. I have another one that says faith over fear. So you can go there, you can grab them.
That's on your website?
Yeah, it's on my website, jodyangray.com. So you can feel free to go there. And the book will be available soon. That's a work in progress.
Wow.
So we're doing things. We're doing things slowly but surely. Right. We're getting back to some level of normalcy. And sometimes doors close for bigger ones to open.
Absolutely.
And I'm walking right through those.
Absolutely.
So
I'm super proud of what you're doing.
Appreciate it.
And from us to you, I'm gonna say keep on doing what you're doing. And
thank you.
I love that. I love the sweatshirt. I love the energy. I watched that video like about 9 times yesterday because I was like, yo, I need to get up in this Portland vibe, yo. I saw you getting into the conk coming up and yo, Judge, what a jerk conk or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, it was so good. And then the roast yam. Oh God.
It was heaven. It was heaven.
Oh God. It is nice, bad.
And then what the person say it look like? Who they say it look like?
No, I'm not telling them. I need them to go and watch it. Go and watch it. Jody Ann Gray Inc. Please leave a comment. Even if it's bad, you don't like it, leave a comment. It's going to help to make me better. If you like it, leave a comment. Some of them will get the encouragement for drop more videos,
They gonna love it. They gonna love it.
So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Jody Ann, on behalf of everybody, man, I got to be the massive our crew listening on the radio right now, Royal Zion Highness Radio, people listening on Real Vibes Live, homegrownwithchico.com. I want to thank you so much for chopping up. We can do this for 2 more hours. We're going to do another episode, especially since the book is on its way.
Absolutely.
So when the book drop, come link with.
Absolutely.
We'll make sure it happens. All right? Them have the social media info. Any wise words? You've dropped nothing but wise words for the last 2 hours, but I word of inspiration, some wise words for anybody before we roll up out of here from you.
You know what? Just be yourself. And as I said before, and I'm going to say it again, nothing lasts forever. How you're feeling now is not how you're going to feel next 10 years.
Wow. Man, that's soak in. Let that soak in.
And there you have it. Thank you so much for tuning in. It has indeed been a pleasure. Please remember to subscribe to the podcast. Homegrown with G. Cole available everywhere. All right. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember, be safe, be kind, and be good to each other. My name is G. Cole, and this is Homegrown.
Nakikinika sa música, Homegrown with G. Cole.
Estás escuchando Homegrown con G. Cole.
您现在正在收听的是 Homegrown with G. Cole.
You're listening to Homegrown with G. Cole.
Remember, all the music played here on the podcast Homegrown with G. Cole is available on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, and all your digital retailers. Please support the artists.